Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. I hope you're having a fantastic morning today, and I hope your weekend has gone well as well. Today is Monday. It is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I love that. In the year of our Lord 2026, and I'm here, Big Sky Mountain Mosley here, and Eubank is also with me. Ann, how are you?
I'm doing great. Today is my husband's birthday.
Really?
Yep. So he is always, the 4th is always with him.
So he is a Star Wars baby.
Yeah.
One of my kids this morning told me today was his birthday. And elementary school kids, when you tell them it's Star Wars Day, they have no idea.
No clue.
No idea what you're talking about. And I would argue that many of them have never even seen the movies.
It's on TV all the time.
I just don't think it's a thing for them.
I don't know. Well, maybe they need to.
I mean, maybe they probably watch the newer versions.
Well,
maybe.
the ultimate good against evil. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Big Sky Mountain Mosley, how are you this morning?
Fantastic. We had a outstanding Kentucky Derby on Saturday. I hope you were able to watch that.
I did not.
Nobody cares about horse racing around here. Bunch of Philistines.
I don't wear hats, so I love horses. We had horses growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't watch the Derby?
No.
Wow.
This is probably, I don't even remember the last
Have
time.
y'all ever been to the Kentucky Derby?
Missed it by that much.
One
We
time.
were working in Louisville.
You could go. Can you get a ticket fairly easily, or is it
No.
just too?
No, you could not.
No.
So how were you going to get in?
You had to
Well,
know
that became the
somebody.
problem. I thought, we'll do this as long as we're here, and it just became a giant hassle. And
You really have to know somebody.
Do you?
Or have an
Yeah.
extreme amount of money.
yeah, we had to get a hotel.
My parents went one time,
Well, that was back in then. That was
back in the
then.
day.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
now it's just more. Is it kind of like, okay, all right, this is not meant to be sexist, okay?
Well,
But
when you
it's-
open
and
like that, what
I
is
know,
it gonna
and my
be?
split screen is not exactly. I had you on there, and now it's got me on there twice. So I don't know what it is. But
Listen, if I'm going to sit here, you're
I
going to
mean, look, I can see you. You're the only person up. That's all
Okay, good.
anybody's getting to see is you, Ann.
That works.
But is it kind of like football games where women want to just go so they can dress up and be there and be seen, and they have no idea what's going on, and they don't keep up at all? And I mean, look, there's a bunch of college girls.
No,
That's
no.
why they go to the football game, is to say they went to the football game. You ask them the score, no idea. You ask them who's on offense, no idea. You ask them who we're playing, they might
I
know.
would imagine there's a percentage of females who are like that, but then, I mean, if you're going to be there, you obviously are going to bet on a horse.
Right.
So
and
you're
it's
going to
not
be,
just
yeah.
it's not just the only race. There's a card of races
Right, it's
beginning
all
at
day.
like 4:00,
Yeah.
2 hours before the actual Derby,
And
and the
there's-
men dress up too.
Yeah, food and lots
Really?
of drink.
Yeah,
and,
mint juleps.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the
it's-
big thing there.
Which I don't like mint julep. I don't like
You don't
mint.
like mint
Who
julep?
does?
I don't
know
like
anybody that
mint. Mint.
Ever like that?
I don't like mint. Chocolate, mint's not my thing.
There you go.
So,
So the big winner, the Derby, Golden Tempo, a 23-1.
I
very
saw that.
long
I
shot,
knew that.
23 to 1.
dead-
Somebody got rich.
dead last to start the race.
Was
Dead last.
were there two races? Because there's a whole card or whatever at the Kentucky Derby. Then there's the Kentucky Derby, but there's multiple races that day.
Oh, it was like 10,
Wasn't
12
there
races.
another race where the horse came from? It was called what was
Well,
it?
they have all kind of.
But there was another race where the
2-year-olds,
horse came
40-year-olds,
from last or next to the last, just like the Derby,
probably
to win.
But this was the big one, and came all the way from the rear, from the outside. Incredible. I mean, you run a much shorter race from the rail.
Okay.
And this horse never could find the rail. Came all the way from dead last, 23-1, long shot.
Golly.
Golden Tempo. Female trainer, by the way, just the second female trainer
Really?
to win the Kentucky Derby.
So who
But
was
the
the,
big- the really-
odds-on favorite for that race?
I believe So Happy, which had an Alabama connection, was 5-1. at post time.
That's
And
still,
there's a
Really?
that's
couple others
still
at
pretty
5
high.
Well, you had 19 horses in the race.
Oh, okay.
So
Is that
huge
normal?
field.
No.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, because when I
Huge
saw
field.
the replay, it looked like there were too many horses.
There were, and we had a scratch right as they were going in the gate.
Uh-huh.
A beautiful Appaloosa, well, sort of Dabble, reared up. They don't like to go in the gate,
Yeah, I don't blame them.
and reared up and threw the rider
Uh-huh.
and landed hard on its back.
Ooh,
And I
ouch.
had, I hope that I forget the horse's name, but they scratched him. So
That was
Wow.
probably the one that was going to win. He was ready.
probably
He was ready to go.
that's who I had my money. No, I don't gamble, but that's who I would have bet on probably. But the highlight of the whole fair
Uh-oh.
was before any race began, the national anthem
Really?
at about 4:15. Yes, Derek Trucks and his wife Susan Tedeschi, she sang,
Who was
and
Garrett
Derek.
Trucks?
No
Derek, I saw Derek Trucks when he was 12 years old.
How do you
open
know all this?
Open
I don't
for
know.
Johnny Winter at a little club.
Who's Johnny Winter?
Another good question.
Oh man!
Are all these just so? What is your genre?
You're just way outside my lane.
Because the only people that I know that know this much about music, and maybe knows you, Big Dave knows a tremendous amount about music as well, but he likes all kinds of music. You are you know, old rock and roll people's cousins, nephews, neighbor's son, who at one time
Dated so and
dated so and so, and then stole a microphone out of the back of a van, and then you know that story. I mean,
Then
so
do
what is the
rock.
genre? Old rock, classic rock, or southern rock, or
blues purist rock.
that's what you know
That's
about?
what I am, which expands out into progressive rock, jazz rock,
Okay,
jam band rock.
Otis
So for
Redding.
It's mostly based in purist blues
Yeah.
fashion.
Otis Redding.
Oh,
Aaron
yeah,
Neville.
Sure,
that
sure.
group. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got
But
you.
but Derek saw him at 12 years old. He was a pure prodigy, and Johnny Winter even came out. He's an albino, legendary. He at one time,
was Winter his real name, or did they call him that
No,
because
that
he
was his-
pasty, snowy white?
I believe he was born Johnny Winter, and his brother
Really?
Edgar Winter, which a lot of people know as well, once got the highest paid contract in rock history in about 1969. But Johnny comes out to watch little Derek, and his guitar is bigger than him, and he had a little Braves baseball cap on. He never looked up at the crowd. There's maybe 500 people in there. And his pedigree, his brother, no, his dad is the brother of Allman Brothers drummer Butch Trucks.
Okay,
And just phenomenal player. There's something in him. And when he was 20, he took Dwayne Allman's old spot in the Allman Brothers band at 20 years old.
really?
Yes. So he accompanied his wife, Susan Tedeschi. She did the vocals. He did slide guitar, which is very difficult to do
Right.
in an environment like that. And it was just out of sight. he teased my old Kentucky home before he started the national anthem.
I am
Beautiful.
a
beautiful.
national anthem purist. If Whitney Houston didn't sing it, it's not good enough.
Well, I'll tell you what, and check out Susan Tedeschi. She kept it, within the rails, so to speak. She didn't try to, put on a big show, make it about her. She sang it,
Right.
and she did an outstanding job. Check it out.
Well, that's cool.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
you'll dig it.
So, what is on deck for today?
We're going to talk about redistricting and Meemaw's edict. They start again today to try to figure out what the heck they're going to do.
What did you, when you read because all the news first came out and said, it's some national news. Alabama is going to redistrict, blah, 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 a lot of national news, the whole kind of, but when I read the proclamation from the governor,
Which I sent you.
yes, which you sent me, which made me think, wait a minute, that she's not doing the Florida thing. She's
No.
doing some little wimpy
Okay.
version.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Because our primaries are May 19th, what Steve Marshall did was he went to the Supreme Court and said, take off this latest.
All right, hold that thought. We got to take a break. We will be right back.
You always do that to me.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. We appreciate you listening to the program. Ann Eubank is with me. Ann, we were talking a little bit about what is going on with this new call from the governor about redistricting, reapportionment. It drives me crazy when they call it reapportionment because they want to sound so smart, and it just bothers me to no end. But I don't think the governor calls. You were telling the story that Steve Marshall asked the Supreme Court what?
Okay. So back when in 23, I think it was, of course, the Democrat Party and the NAACP took Alabama to court on their redistricting. And the court said, you can't do that. You have to have 2 black districts.
Yeah. We need you to draw districts based on race.
Right. So they, Steve Marshall appealed. That appeal was still in effect when the Supreme Court came down on the Louisiana problem.
Okay.
But Alabama is different. Not only did they have a Voting Rights Act in that challenge, let's put it this way. Let's see who said this. Contrary to what's being said, the Callis case and the Allen case are not the same because some really bad lawyering. Alabama is not only dealing with a Voting Rights Act, but also a 14th Amendment equal protection problem. And so Alito said, contrary to the dissent's assertion, we have not overruled Allen. There are distinguishing facts between the 2 cases that will require Alabama to have additional issues to go over by the Supreme Court. And that's what we're waiting for right now, because as the Supreme Court ruled, Steve Marshall was ready and put in a brief to say, okay, you overruled Callis, you should overrule Allen.
How is ours markedly different?
The 14th Amendment claim.
I get it, but the 14th Amendment is claimed for everything. I find it almost impossible to believe that the 14th Amendment was not invoked in the argument in Louisiana, because you cannot have these race-based districts without using the 14th Amendment. So what I'm interested in, and you may not know this because it would be just a nauseating amount of research.
Which I do daily.
You
but
do,
that's okay.
but the lawyer talk that is in so much of this argument about, oh no, theirs is different because it has the 14th Amendment, and you're like, dude, just shut up. I mean, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the lawyers. I know y'all throw everything but the kitchen sink at all of these things. It's always about, oh my gosh, we got some people who aren't represented, and they're the minority. Well, what about the Hispanics? We don't care about them. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Right.
And so I can't understand for the life of me how the Louisiana case is markedly different than the Alabama case.
I think markedly different is an overreach, but there are some differences.
Some minor differences.
So it has to be overturned, and he has asked the appeal court, which has been there forever, to overturn that. And so...
But see, my guess is the appeals court oh God, it's so hard because the appeals court knows what the U.S. Constitution says.
Right.
Okay. They also know what the 14th Amendment actually meant and was for. And it was for freed slaves.
That's right.
And I would guess, and to carry the one, all of them are dead.
I would think so.
Yes, I would think so. And so they know that, but then they were ruling based on, quote, precedent from the U.S. Supreme Court when it came to voting rights.
Way
back from the 60s.
Probably before that.
Maybe more.
Probably the 50s in Brown.
Maybe, but that was just education related. But I would think
Still,
most
they
of it's
pulled
the
the
voting
14th
rights amendment, or voting rights. What do they call it?
It's
not
a
the
Voting
amendment.
Rights Act.
Statute Act. VRA. So they roll all that stuff together, but they knew the whole time that it was made up. Then the Supreme Court comes along and says, hey, you can't do this. But my feeling is that the appeals court, which was doing their best to get 2 Democrat districts out of the state of Alabama, is going to drag their feet and say, well, we don't know. We'll probably give you a ruling so that they can get those extra Democrats, have those extra Democrats for the midterm elections. Now, I could be wrong. They could be responsive based on what the U.S. Supreme Court said the other day. But I still believe that the legislature, who is empowered by the U.S. Constitution to draw these districts,
That's true.
could go starting today and draw new congressional districts and force a new set of actions by saying, hey, those maps are gone. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you did put a stay on us. The Constitution says we draw these. Now, if you don't like these, you need to deal with that. That is what someone who is truly a follower of the Constitution would make the legal argument. But the legislature has a long history. Attorney generals have a long history. It's mostly because, now follow me on this.
I got you.
Lawyers, attorney generals, because you have to be a lawyer to be the attorney general, they are so, and this is not a slam on our attorney general, Steve Marshall, but they are so brainwashed. It is beat into their heads in law school. Constitution, great. Declaration of Independence, great. Historical writings, great. All this is great. You must respect it. But you got to do what the judge says. That's where they're limited, because everything is this tap dancing. How do I dance in front of the judge enough for the judge to let me do what I would like to do? But you have this God-given right. You have this constitutional right. I know. I want to know about the judge. And that's where I think we're limited, is everything is about, will the judge let us?
So are you talking state judge or federal judge?
I'm talking
Because-
federal judge.
So we have the 10th Amendment that gives us the right.
But when's the last time a lawyer who's actually practicing or has power? Now, I'm not talking about just, we know some regular lawyers, but one who actually has power, who's an attorney general, who says, hey, we can do this because the Constitution says it. I don't care what federal judge so-and-so says. You can go fly a kite, you're number one.
So they always come up with the supremacy clause.
Right.
But this 10th Amendment is written in the Constitution.
And the supremacy clause is only that they are supreme on the issues that the Constitution makes them supreme.
Exactly, but they forget those other words.
Right.
So, it's it's God, we the people, the state, and the federal government.
Correct.
The states set up the federal government, but they have abdicated their
Correct.
power over however many
Well, Sky knows when
generations.
that power was lost.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. 10th Amendment. Yeah. It's a beautiful amendment.
It was a beautiful
Just
amendment to
don't
be
use it
ignored
very
after
much.
1865.
So if they don't expedite removing the injunction, then there's really nothing they're going to do during the special session. But they've gone back to get ready because they had to vote on those districts that are not what we want.
Right.
So they have to unvote.
They have to repeal those
They have
or
to
vote a new
repeal
set
those
in.
Or repeal, yeah. So what Marshall did was he said, okay, if you remove this injunction, we're going to go back to the ones we did, I think, in 23, which would get rid of
One, but still have another Democrat
with-
district.
Yeah, 7.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I think I turned on just late enough not to get any of that. Or maybe it was, I don't know. Could you hear it?
It was, I caught about, what's the time limit on YouTube? How many seconds?
Nothing.
Oh, well, you got hit, man.
Nothing.
You got about 2.5, 3 seconds.
Nothing. Maybe I didn't turn on mine, but I could hear it coming. So we'll see. So here is a story from NBC News, though, and I want to compare it to Alabama. This is Jane Tim's piece over at NBC. The Republican governors of Alabama and Tennessee on Friday called for their state legislators to convene for special sessions to consider new congressional maps after the decision. Kay Ivey said the GOP-controlled legislature should be prepared to set special primary elections if the Supreme Court allows them to use a congressional map that had been blocked in court. Now, this is what I don't understand, okay? So Alabama acts like it's just too late. I mean, the primaries are coming. The primaries are coming in Alabama on the 19th, right?
Yes, according to Alabama Code.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Alabama Code section 17, and I could go dash blah, 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 sets the date for the primaries.
Okay.
So they would have to
Unset them. Well, what gets me is Louisiana, who the Hallmark case is about, and you're going to love this guy. Louisiana's primary is on the 16th. Louisiana's primary is earlier than our primary, and they're getting after it or trying to get after it. But what do we do in Alabama? Oh, I don't know. It'll be too hard for us because we're stupid. We don't know if we can fight it. So what are you thinking?
Okay. So the tentative plan that I have researched is that they will go into special session to deal with two bills.
Okay.
And the two bills will attempt to reschedule Alabama's May 19th congressional and state Senate primary in hopes to buy some time and make it possible to use the 2021 state map and the 2023 Livingston congressional map for November.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
wouldn't that be unprecedented?
Yeah,
it's pretty
it's pretty
postpone a primary?
Yeah.
So there's another
But you're
problem.
postponing a political party event. It's not
Right,
an
it's
election.
not an election.
Right.
I got you. So they'll probably skate by on that. I guess.
So there's two state things that are going to be impacted if they do this, which is 25 and 26.
That's the state Senate districts.
Senate districts, Barfoot and hang on, I got them somewhere. Anyway, there's two of them that will have to go back to the old way, and Barfoot has already said that he's going to move back to his old district.
Okay.
That he will run in his own district. So that's another
Which means
thing.
he moved to the new district.
No, they moved him into the new district. He
They drew the district
drew
around
the
his house. So
district
when you
around
say
him.
move back,
Yeah, the
he'll say
districts
he's
will
fine.
move.
The
Yeah,
district lines will move
lines
back.
will move
so
back.
let me ask you this question. Now, did you get some of this from people who should know?
Yes.
Or is this, okay. Did you ask them, and we're asking here, maybe they could call, why don't they just draw 7 Republican districts? Instead of begging to go back to the way it always was, why don't you win? I mean, we literally can't try to win because the 7th Congressional District historically has always been drawn to elect a black Democrat.
Absolutely.
That is the purpose of the 7th Congressional District, and that's why it runs up to the middle of Jefferson County and runs down and gets the middle of Montgomery County.
All
and
the
then
way
runs
across.
over, gets some Selma and all that.
All the
to
way to the
ensure,
Mississippi line.
Yeah. So it is a gerrymandered thing, a big snake across the state. So why don't we just, and look, they can all talk a bunch of smack, all right? But I'm not even afraid of this bet, Sky. You could bet $20 million.
Uh-oh. Beason's going big.
And I can draw those congressional districts next weekend and be done. So they can act like to the people of Alabama, oh, it's really hard. I don't know. We're going to have to take a long time doing redistricting. Oh, we'll have to get in there with the computers for hours. Oh, it's so hard. Shut the dump truck up.
It's
It
already
is
being
not
done.
that hard.
It's already being done in these 6 New England states.
Yes.
Roughly 40 to 42% Republican voters.
Yes.
Not one single
Republican
Republican representative in Congress.
That's exactly
Not
right.
one
That's right.
in all 6 states.
And I would call it the New England model. That's what I
Yes.
would name it.
Beautiful,
I
beautiful.
I would say this is the Alabama New England model congressional district. And I would explain this is apparently other states can draw them completely based on politics. We have no desire to have a Democrat district here. And we don't know what the race of these people are. We've drawn 7 Republican districts. But what the legislature will do is act like it's very, very hard. And
Yeah,
oh
they
my
do act.
gosh,
Yes.
we've got to go back to the way it was for the 7th. But I was there when Barack Obama was president, and we were drawing congressional districts. Now, and look, y'all can call me in, whatever you want to do. But the Department of Justice was fine with our map, okay?
That's right.
Because we called up there and said, hey, do you like the 7th? Is Terry Sewell good with the 7th? And the answer back was roughly, Terry's good with the 7th. We're good with the 7th. Y'all roll. So don't act like, oh, it's all about how it's drawn all perfectly and all this kind of stuff. The Obama DOJ said, Congressman Sewell's good. We're good. Roll Tide.
Well,
That's how it really works.
I'm sorry. They had to redraw 7 because she moved across the street from me.
Yes.
And so they came up 459 and hooked that little finger right there on the edge.
Didn't we do that?
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah.
You did that. So
It's almost like I know.
the street behind me was in 6.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they took me out of 6, which Gary
And put you in
Palmer-
7
and-
because you lived right across the
Across the street.
street.
That's right.
And the
And that was the
census
only
tract
reason.
block runs on your side of the road because
That's
people are
right.
like, well, why don't you just split the road? Because the maps do it by these little blocks that are
Right.
already set up by the census, and so they're going
Exactly.
down both sides of the road. And if you have a pond and across the pond is a different block, we can do that little segment. But it's literally, Sky, it's highlight. It's click it here, drag it here, click it here, drag it here, and the line moves around these blocks.
Well, there is a map on the
Mm-hmm.
website that has all 7 red.
Mm-hmm. Who drew that?
A Republican.
Now, I will say again, guys, and I know that some of y'all are tied to the National Democrat Party, okay? I know you're plugged in with the Democrats. You're a Republican, but you're plugged in with Democrats. The rest of y'all who are listening, if you're going to go with all Republicans, just throw out the race data from the databases
That's
before
it.
you start.
That's it.
So that, and I've said it 1,000 times, but maybe people are listening now that reapportionment is back on the table. Get rid of the race data, draw the districts based on which 7 districts will elect 7 Republicans. Just do that. And then there's no argument. And call it the New England model, okay?
Yes.
Call it the New England model. Throw out the race data. You can elect 7 Republicans. The door is open. Go get it. Now, the question really is, though, Ann, did the governor open the door, or did the governor mealy-mouth around on the call to the point? Now, I thought it was poorly written, so it could be taken either way.
Right. What she said on the news was
Different than
than
what the call
was,
said.
Yeah. But what she said on the news was to go back to
Yeah,
the
that's not even in the
original
call. Right.
map, and that is not in the call.
The call says something about things that were possibly being debated by the court, which makes you could say the whole district. But I will tell you this also. I have seen staff members for a governor do something 180 degrees from what the governor said because the staff member knew that the governor wasn't keeping up. Now, that could happen as well.
So if they change anything, anybody who's
We
already
got to take a break. If they change anything, we'll be back. Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Appreciate you listening to the show. A lot of talk about this redistricting. It looks as if South Carolina is also, Sky, it's almost like going back in time, isn't it?
It really is.
South Carolina is
That's
going
it.
into special session. Tennessee is going into special session. The great state of Alabama is going into special session. Florida is apparently going into special session. All trying to figure out how they can do. And then look, all you folks in the other states also, y'all should all call them the New England plans. Every
Totally
single
agree.
one of them. Call
It
them the
points,
New England
shines a
plans
spotlight on how it's been going on for years and decades.
in other places. And just say,
Yes.
hey, look, we didn't, you know what? Golly, we didn't even know. And geez Louise, we didn't know we could do it like that. We got smart after we got some education, and we put on some shoes, and we started doing it like they do it in New England. I
Sounds
know
pretty
it does,
good.
but I want to sound as redneck as I can possibly sound.
I cannot stand.
Well, they think we're idiots.
It's just so irritating for people to do a fake Southern accent.
Are you saying I should just talk normal?
I think you should.
And
You have enough Southern accent all by yourself.
Thank you,
man.
Sky, I think.
yes.
Hey, I used to go to Georgia with some of my friends, and they would say, "Talk for me." I'm like, I sound just exact. No, you don't sound like we do. So obviously, I have a Southern accent, but I don't talk like
You don't draw it
this.
out. Well, that
No.
doesn't really sound Southern. When you fake it, it doesn't sound Southern. It sounds
That's
like
true.
Hollywood paying the guy from Pennsylvania
To talk
to be Southern, and they just overdo it.
Yeah. So
And we don't do a segment like it.
No.
I just do it when I want to. That's what I would do if I was
Like
before the
two
Supreme Court, to say,
sentences.
we didn't know. Now we found out
But
we can
see,
do it like
here's-
Maine does it.
Here's the problem: we Southerners are too nice.
We are.
Don't count me in that, but most Southerners are too nice. They refuse to accept reality. It's like, oh no, God wouldn't want me to do that, or what would Jesus do?
Right. Oh,
Right.
Jesus will come in and turn over the tables. I can't wait till
But they
Jesus
don't
comes back
understand
next
that.
time.
They don't
Right.
understand that. They think we should take the higher road. Well, the higher road leads to an ism.
They think we should take the high road, which leads to being subjects.
That's exactly right.
The quote on high road lets evil win,
Right.
and that is not the high road. The high road is fighting against evil. The high road is making sure that goodness has a chance, and the high road oftentimes is fighting the fight.
That's right.
And I don't know what happened to us in the South, where somehow we were told the high road means surrender and be
I
and be
believe
abused.
that was back in 1860.
You think it really was? Does it go
Yes.
back to
I
after
think-
the
yes.
war, or was it the decades of education after the War of Northern Aggression that made everyone say, well, you must pay your penance, therefore you will be subjugated, you and your children and your children's children, forever.
That's what it means to be a conquered nation.
Yeah, apparently. Forever.
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 So, okay.
So what was your thought that you were going to make?
I didn't want to lose it. So,
So you got it?
so I got it.
Okay.
If you have voted absentee, you must vote again once they finish this
Yeah, all the
process.
ballots will be thrown out.
Right. All
is
the
my
absent-
guess.
Hopefully.
If the legislature, do you think the legislature has the cojones to do what could be done?
I think if the legislature doesn't, those primaries are going to look mighty different when it's over with.
But a lot of the people that are problems ended up with no opposition.
Well, we have 10 senators with opposition. And what did I say? 20-something, 27
Out of 105?
out of
or
105, some ridiculously low number.
It's bad.
It's bad. So all we have to do is win 2 or 3, and that'll make them sit up and watch.
Maybe.
So
I just wonder if they have the ability to do what can be done or what should be done. But I just, Clark always says that the problem with us is too many of us are them.
Exactly.
And I just don't know if the legislature has what it takes.
Case in point, our Speaker of the House and Senate Pro Tem. So we'll see, because the Senate Pro Tem is in trouble, from what I hear.
Already?
No, I mean up running.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's already
yes.
already in trouble. If the Pro Tem can't get done what needs to be done to help save the republic.
Right.
I mean, these guys ran and these girls ran on how they could fight.
Yeah, let's see how they fight, because it matters in Congress. If we
it's
lose
huge.
a House, or if we lose.
We got to take another break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Could you hear that playing back through?
I could.
Well, that's weird. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, was that copyrighted?
No, it is not.
Great.
1,000%
Fantastic.
not. So that's one of the theories is that we can play that and maybe it garbles over and then we
I
turn
like
it on when we get it going.
It
So
sounded familiar, but it wasn't.
it sounds very similar to something. Wonder how that happened.
Yes, very clever.
That one is YY Top.
Yes, and it's ZZ Top LaGrange. I picked it out right away, Scott, but it's not copyrighted.
But that is not it. So, Ann, let's get out some of the phone calls. Let's go to Chris. Chris, welcome to the program. Hope you're doing well.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Monday morning, I should say.
Yeah,
I'm doing fine. I was just calling to say, the one problem that the Republicans have always had, they don't ever want to get, and I hate using this word, but they don't ever want to do the kill shot,
Exactly.
It's just like, it's why are we so nice?
Because too many of us are them. And we don't want to be considered, what are the 3 R's? Rednecks, rubes, or racist?
Yeah. Well, there's another R I'd like to say, too.
Well, we are that one.
But, shoe on the other foot, right?
Yeah.
They would probably do this. They would just run the table and put 7 districts in and tell all of us to be quiet.
They do in New England.
Well, Virginia, Virginia just had a basically a constitutional amendment statewide vote to let them do that very thing, and if we stand up and fight, Chris, we're going to go back to the 6 Republicans, 1 Democrat. So that no one will call us racist. I will almost bet you my last dollar, if we get any courage, that's as much courage as we're going to be able to muster.
Yeah, the Terry Sewell redistrict.
Yes. As long as Terry's fine, that's what we'll do. Now there'll be a Democrat civil war there.
Wait, Terry Sewell's district, if it goes back, may very well change.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told this morning, and this is solely a rumor, that when they change that, the Republicans are going to run Morgan Murphy against her in District 7.
Ooh.
Because her district will go back to the old way, which opens up.
But the old way, a Republican can't win that district. That district is we've been playing that game over and over.
I beg to differ, because Robin Lydecker, with no support from the Republican Party, got 40-something% of the vote.
Yeah, like 42 or something.
Yeah, but my point about it is, why don't you just? Again, why can't we go for the kill shot and just go ahead and take it all over?
That's what we should do.
I don't understand that. Why do we have to be nice? I don't understand this. And by the way, that extra vote in Congress would be huge anyways.
Yeah, big time.
But we're just too nice, man. I just really don't think it's nice. I think it's the powers that be tell the Republicans, look, you got to do it this way. We got to be kumbaya, the big business here in the state of Alabama. Like, y'all can't do that. It's going to look bad for the state and for industry, and we're going to look like a bunch of racist rednecks. But meanwhile, the Democrats would do it in a heartbeat if they had the opportunity. So I don't understand that. So I just say go in 7 districts, all Republican. We don't have to worry about a 50-50 district. Just take it over. And then if they got a problem with it, they can sue and do whatever they did. Like you said, in Virginia, they wrote some amendment that was so biased that even the court system said it was ridiculous.
Right.
That's how unhinged they are.
Yeah. Totally threw it out. So here's my response to that, Chris. When you have the Speaker of the House and the Senate Pro Tem, who are the leaders of the House and Senate, coming from big Democrat families and backgrounds, what do you think you're going to get?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I don't think the Democrats have ever left this state as far as power goes. I think they're, like you said, they're still there. They're in little enclaves. They're now Republicans just so they can get elected. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what's going to happen.
I think
you know,
the odds-on chances are y'all two are correct.
Yeah. So
I don't even know. What am I correct about?
that the Democrats never left the state, and and we're not going to go for the kill shot, and we're going to, like I said, is that the best we can get is go back to the way the districts were, probably back when we drew them, and the Obama Department of Justice agreed that it was okay as long as the congressman was happy.
right.
Chris was also right about the R word.
Yes, because we are the R word. Yes, we are.
Make it the big four.
We are that,
yeah, we are.
but we're
I mean,
afraid of the other three.
Got it.
Yeah, well, the sad part is this state has so much opportunity. You know, maybe Tupperville would kind of push the state House and Senate along with some bully pulpit type stuff, but the corporatization of the state of Alabama to me is because you only got a handful of really huge industries, you know, and I'm not going to say all of them, but you all know they kind of run the state.
It is a cabal. There's no doubt about it, and you know, the left was not completely wrong when they used to say, well, the Alabama Constitution was written for the big mules, blah 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 blah. What they got wrong was it wasn't the Constitution. It was that we, the people, allow that small group of elites to rule and manage everything, and we're basically a mercantile system. I mean, we exist to work for them and to enrich them, and in turn, they will give us a job. That's kind of how Alabama works.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Considering that, you know, we have this great Scotch-Irish heritage, give us, you know, freedom and the whole 9 yards, but we're taken advantage of. We're serfs.
Yeah, we're the people that came from those who fought the dragons. But we don't fight dragons anymore.
But they convinced us that fighting the dragons and all that kind of stuff was crazy, and then they beat us into submission, and
educated us into submission.
And a lot of people moved down here and messed it up, and we have a tough time. But maybe we'll regain ourselves, Chris. But America doesn't look like she's willing to really regain herself either. I mean, you know, we're not really worse off than a lot of places. I mean, the founding generation, or even the generation that fought World War II, would have probably already said, "Oh, enough is enough." But we're just cruising into the abyss.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're over. What did we hit? 40 trillion in debt. I don't even know.
And we don't even really know how all that's calculated. But we've got a monstrous debt, and we belong to the international bankers.
Yeah, it's actually even. I mean, you add the liabilities that we've put on top of us for all Social Security and Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's. I mean, but the thing is, even Republicans, we're not even talking about that anymore.
No,
we're just going to continue falling down these steps, right?
Yep.
And then eventually, the chickens will come home to roost, and we won't be able to afford anything. But that's just not being done. It's just we've neglected so much in this country. We've actually taken so much for granted, really. And you know, we continue to spend. And the microcosm to me was all this stuff going on in Minnesota. And, you know, you've seen the theft, the outright theft. And guess what? What's happened, folks? Nothing. I mean, maybe they went in and they raided these places just, 2 months after we all found out about it. You think they've hidden everything since then? I mean,
well, I know one of the group of fraudsters, Chris, the local judge, whatever. I mean, pretty much just let them all go.
Yeah.
Well, if it was only Minnesota, it might not be so bad. But we got California, we have Arizona, there are states, Illinois, Minnesota's just the tip of the iceberg. That's
Yeah, I mean, it might be coming on. It might be happening in your community, your local community here in the state
I'm
of
pretty
Alabama.
sure it's happening in Alabama,
Yeah.
Chris. Hey, we got to take a break.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all stick
All right,
with
guys,
us.
y'all have a good one.
Thanks, buddy. We'll be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening. Don't forget, Brian Dawson has a podcast. You can find it 1819 News, the podcast. You can go and look for that at YouTube, search for it, or you can search for it at any of the places where you usually look for your podcast, 1819 News, the podcast with Brian Dawson. Let's get out to Red Top. Red Top's got some comments on the redistricting plan. Red Top, welcome to the program. I hope you are well.
Yes, and unfortunately what we have in Alabama is Republicans just like Jeff Sessions who run and hide.
Well, at least Jeff Sessions officially recused himself. Our legislators will be like, I'll fight for you. I'm fighting for you. I'm over here working out to the eye of the tiger. I'm fighting for you. Well, here's a fight. I think I've changed my mind.
Sorry, that's not good enough. Jeff Sessions disappointed all of us, and we let him know in the senatorial race.
Good
That
job.
was not the thing to do. Yeah, I don't care about his refusal.
Well, I'm glad
He
that
could've-
some of y'all knew ahead of time that it was as and look, I've tried to explain it. I don't know if you listened at the time, but Jeff, I believe, was a victim of his own trust in law enforcement. I don't think Jeff had any idea how corrupt Washington was. And I will argue that Donald Trump didn't have any idea how corrupt Washington was based on many of his appointments. I mean, he put Chris Wray in, he put all kind of people in. And I talked to people who knew Senator Sessions before he was ever made AG. He always wanted to be AG. And these people were talking to him about stuff that was wrong in the state of Alabama when he was Attorney General in the state, and that he was blind to the possibility of corruption among law enforcement and among that community, even at that time. And he was unprepared for what they were willing to do to him and to the president. And I don't think it was because of weakness, and I don't think it was because – I think he had no idea that is what was going to happen. Because I happen to know Jeff well enough to know, I mean, he was a freaking – warrior in the U.S. Senate and was solid, and that's why people were excited about him being the AG. But he just did not know that they would pull those kinds of stunts, and he thought he was doing the right thing, just like the Alabama legislature is going to hide behind, oh, we're trying to be nice, and they're going to get flim-flammed by not going for the, as Chris says, the kill shot.
Okay. All right. You're just taking up all my time here.
Hey, well, look, I'm telling you the
agree.
absolute truth. You don't have to agree, but I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, I don't because
you don't know. That's why, Red Top, you don't know.
I know helped put 6 million people in jail for marijuana smoking.
Oh, so you're mad? Oh, so you weren't mad about the recusing himself and the Trump stuff. You were mad because he's against marijuana?
That put
oh, well, that made, well, why didn't you say that to start with? You made me every time you call and you bash Jeff Sessions, I think you're thinking about the Donald Trump thing and what happened with the DOJ. You're mad about marijuana.
That's what I just said. Okay.
Well, I know we finally got to it after 2 years.
Wait. What part of illegal do you not understand?
And I don't want to go through this all again. But I want to talk about redistricting.
Okay.
Because I feel it's been a mess from the start. How do people know what Democrat and Republican districts are? Nobody's ever come to my door and asked me. I'm 72 years old. Nobody knows who each house a political affiliate is. I say everybody's getting it dead wrong. Because that's an antiquated system. And why doesn't the system just count X number of people in a district, and that is a district, not regarding at all what race or political affiliation it is? That seems like the only logical way to go about it. You have 10,000 people in a district. That's a district, wherever 10,000 people is. So isn't that the way it was originally designed, or am I wrong about that? And since the reason why I'm asking you, Scott, is because you have been a realtor, and a representative, and you understand this stuff a lot better than me. But the whole system of trying to, with that, not everybody's a Democrat and a Republican, and we have more independents than ever, and nobody's talking about them, like me. So don't you think the whole way they're going about this is
Well, I can tell
outdated?
you a couple of different things, because when I first started, there's always the idea that you could just draw, say you have enough people in Alabama for 7 congressional districts, and you could just go in and you say, okay, I want to draw 7 rectangles that would go across the state, and they go from the east side to the west side, and then you just move that line up and down until you get the right number of districts, or the right number of people, so that all 7 districts have the same number of people in them. And then you get all this stuff about, I agree, but wait till the rest of the story. Then you get, what happens is, you got the one man, one vote thing. So you got to do everything in your power to have the exact same number, give or take 1, because there's no way, there's always an odd person out, that every district has exactly the same number of people. Well, when you do that, you end up having to go down a little bit further in this county and up a little further in this county, and this county is rural, and then you got the cities. Well, the cities got too many people, so it causes a big bulge in there. So then all of a sudden now you're moving the lines, even if you wanted to do it just with no regard, okay? And I'm with you on it. I'll go in. You and I can do it over the weekend, and we'll do it just like this. The problem with that is, historically, since the 50s or 60s, since the 60s, the court came along and said, no. You can't do it Scott and Red Top's way, because if you do it that way, you won't end up with a black Democrat district. So now you got to go back and draw you a district that will be so heavily weighted to the African-American population that it guarantees a black Democrat is elected. So now your east-west lines have to be crossed north and south to get your new quote-unquote, and they call it this, so nobody should be offended. They call them black districts, okay? That's the name. Now, that's what anybody and everybody, including the judges, call them unless they're writing rulings. And then they'll call them minority, majority districts and pretend that they're all high and mighty and they only care about, it's the minority I'm looking out for because that's what the Constitution. But regular nomenclature, regular people talking, hey, where's your black district? That's what they do. Not just Republicans, Democrats call it that as well. So now you've got a district that, now you got a district that is purposefully drawn weird. Now you got to start changing all those other ones to deal with that district. And then you got to question like, well, wait a minute. This line it goes right in front of Red Top's house. Well, Red Top's now in the black district, but he's running he wants to be a congressman. So let's just move that line over and put him in the Republican district. Then you start getting into all the personalities, and that's why the districts have always been drawn based on politics. Always have
Scott,
been.
All this is obsolete. Black people are no longer the majority minority. Hispanics are.
Correct.
That's all wrong.
Correct.
So why is there not a Hispanic district? Because all of these things are illegal. It needs to be just X number of people. You do a census every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
As the people move around, you change every 10 years. Isn't that the way it's supposed to go?
That's the way the U.S. Supreme Court is saying it should be done again. It doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, if you're black, or whatever. And I'm with you 1,000%.
But in order
Democrat and Republican means nothing to me, guys, and it means nothing to the citizens of Alabama, who all our Republicans act like Democrats.
You're right.
That's true.
Thanks, Red Top. Go ahead, Ann.
Roll Tide, Joe Trump. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
In order to do what y'all are talking about doing, racial data has to be removed from the census.
Correct. Absolutely. It just makes complete sense to do that. That's what we've advocated here for months and months and months and months, and they didn't listen, but maybe they will now. We got to take another break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. We appreciate you listening to the show. I got a little ill with Red Top there, but it's okay. He gets ill with me sometimes as
never
well.
happened before.
But I've just never. I didn't know. I always thought he was angry with Jeff Sessions, Senator Sessions, because of the fiasco with him being the Attorney General and recusing himself, which left him at the mercy of what was the guy's name, Rosenstein, and all the stuff that they
creatures.
did. Yeah,
The bad guy.
yeah, which he didn't know. And look, to be honest, Trump didn't know how bad Washington D.C. was. I mean, he appointed a bunch of people, personally appointed people who came after him.
Yeah.
Not like came after him in chronological order, who attacked him and were helping the deep state undermine him.
Yeah, Michael Flynn was on a podcast the other day that I was watching, talking about that the FBI found the papers where they planned to go after Michael Flynn and other people, and Barack Obama was right in the middle of it.
Oh, absolutely. If we had justice in this country, Barack Obama would be held accountable for just trying to destroy the next presidency.
And Hillary Clinton. But we don't have justice in this country.
No, we don't. We have a ruling elite that can do almost anything.
And have done almost
And then all the
anything.
rest of us are down here waiting to get our ticket from the drone that the Alabama legislature has unleashed on the drivers in the state of Alabama. But let's get to Clark before we get to that, because I'm really set off on the drone thing. You and I have talked about it before, and then it's popped up a couple of times on social media, and I was telling my wife about it. And the more I told her about it, the angrier I got.
Oh, it's worse than you think.
Oh, great, Ann. I appreciate it. Why do you always say that? Every time I'm worked up, you're like, it's worse than you think.
Because you only see the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Go research
Where we're going with it.
Not only where we're going, but already in the middle of what they're doing with the information.
I'm already mad about getting my what do they call it? My toll road fee from some other state, Sky. That when it comes to you, it says your toll was $1.50, and your charge for not paying the toll was $3 or whatever, and you're like, wait a minute, every toll station I passed was closed, which means their modus operandi is to charge you the toll and then charge you the, hey, you didn't pay us when you were there toll, and you're like, y'all are criminals. Absolute criminals. But
They
again,
get away with it.
It's $22, and what are you going to do? You pay it.
Yeah.
So there's not some civil lien against you 10 years from now when you're trying to sell your house, and they're like, oh, you have a lien or whatever.
Yeah. If you're an honest person, you pay it.
Oh, my gosh. I've been trying
Also known as a chump.
I've been trying to figure out how to put that, look, I know it's conspiracy theory, but have you seen the folks out there who have like you know what, I'm so mad, I just need to say, it is alleged that you could spray your car tag with this reflective stuff that it looks like normal, but the camera
Can't read it.
things can't.
Yeah.
They have a hard time with it,
Yeah, it's been around.
and I'm sure they're like, well, if you get caught with that, well,
It's invisible.
I don't know. Sometimes look, I clearly need a protective coating on my tag.
You probably shouldn't do it. You'd probably get busted for it.
I'm
You'd
already-
be the one person.
That, the cops out there scraping off paint to send off to the lab.
Forensics
Well,
department.
it's probably a $20,000 fine for messing up the. You just when you go on a trip and you're going through one of those states, you're like, do I have an old car tag? Do I have something? I mean, there are places where Alabama was going to do it. Remember with their little bridge thing in Mobile? The KI, another one of the KIV legacies was they're going to have the giant toll bridge down in Mobile, and it was going to cost people like $6 each way to. I'm like, what a crock.
Yeah.
We pay out the wazoo for fuel, and a bunch of it's taxes. And then they have the gall to say, hey, we got a great idea. We're going to make you pay $10 a day just to drive to work.
But it's just until the bridge or whatever it is paid for.
Paid for? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how it leads.
Let's go to Clark before we delve off into that. Clark, welcome to the program.
Hey, Scott. Hi, Miss Eubank.
Good morning.
So, Scott, there's an old saying, may you live in interesting times. And boy, are we doing that.
Yeah, I was going with May the 4th be with you.
Okay. So, yeah, there's that. With your call, with Chris,
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. Is there fraud? Yes, there is. It's massive, but it's being exposed. Was 2020 stolen? Without a doubt.
Yes.
But 6 years later, it's being investigated. Were the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, and Lord knows who else involved in plots and operations to overthrow the will of the American people? Yes, they were. And 10 years down the road, maybe some of the perpetrators are going to be held accountable. Have the Democrats held half? This is crazy, Scott. But if you start looking, half of their seats in the House are held through court-ordered rigged gerrymandered districts. Now, that's starting to change. Yes, they've done that, but it's starting to change.
Is that number accurate, Clark? I mean, I'm not
You're gonna
questioning.
make
I've
me
just
go
not
back
I've not heard
sometime
anybody
and-
utter that. Almost half
3
the
o'clock
Democrat
this
seats.
morning, I'd have to go back and find out where it was.
Wow.
Yeah. So were American jobs sent overseas by the millions? Yes, they were. But through tariffs and economic policies, they're being brought back. Scott, we are living in a counter-revolution. That's the only way to describe this. So much is changing, and here's what's going to be really interesting. If you want to know what countries are controlled by the WEF, just look at who did Build Back Better and jumped on the boat with the Green Initiative stuff. If they did that, they were controlled by the WEF. Now, how long is it before sufficient numbers of people in those countries understand that their governments were taken over by the WEF and they start to rise up? This could get real interesting. Now, here's the thing. The left is not going to just sit quietly by while they lose all the influence they've gotten. And they're probably going to get violent here before very long. Remember the Summer of Love?
I remember it.
2.0 squared's coming our way. But we've got to be resolute and willing to slay those dragons. And, it's not going to be over. Once it looks like we've won, we've still got to keep fighting.
Yeah, and that's a problem is every time we win a one little battle, we sit back and say, oh, okay, the war's over. They never give up.
They never stop.
They never stop.
But that's because politics is part of their religion. They fully understand and they want to implement every aspect of their religion into our lives, and they work constantly. Where we take our religion and go and say, well, you know what, I don't want to foist it on anyone else, so we're going to just go to the church and we'll worship as a family. They intend to make us live by their moral code and their religion. They just pretend it's not a religion.
Well,
That's why they work constantly at it.
I think it was JFK that said that, the price of freedom is ever vigilance. So you got to write that one down, but better, I like, on the plains of destiny lie the blackened bones of countless thousands who, in the dawn of destiny, paused to rest and resting died.
Dang,
and
who said
you're
that?
Right, Mr. Eubank. I'm sorry?
Who said that?
Gosh. It wasn't Longfellow, but you got to go back about that far.
wow.
It's a good quote, and it's right.
That's a good one. So, my attitude is you have to be called to this fight.
We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening to the show, and Eubank is with us, and you can check us out over at YouTube. It seems to be working, and it's worked the whole time today. So go to YouTube, search for Scott Beason, and as we add more people watching and as the stream gets, hopefully it'll start popping up at the top, but you just search for Scott Beason or Scott Beason Show, and you see a little picture of me, and then you can click on there and click live, and that's how you get there. And you can look at all the other stuff from all the things that all the leftist groups put out years ago where they love me. They absolutely love me. What's wrong, Sky?
I forgot to look at that this weekend.
Yeah, you should. It's fun.
I got to make a note.
It is absolutely fun. Yes, ma'am.
I was there. I don't think it was fun. But Scott Beason Media is the easiest way to get to it.
Well, we changed that name
You're kidding.
to just plain Scott Beason.
Okay.
Now it's at Scott Beason Show, but it's just Scott Beason.
Okay.
We changed that because people were forgetting media, and so just look for the picture of me. White shirt, white hair, or, well, that's an old picture. So white shirt, halfway gray. Now it's very gray, and so it's all good. But the rest of that quote that Clark was saying, I think he had it right. It's by a guy named George Cecil, who was an advertising executive who lived from 1891 to 1970. And this would probably be, we need to get rid of "We dare defend our rights" and go with this motto for the Alabama State Legislature.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
On the plains of hesitation, so get that, on the plains of hesitation, lie the blackened bones of countless millions who at the dawn of victory lay down to rest, and in resting died.
Yep.
Also known as the ability to, what? Snatch
victory.
defeat from the jaws of victory. Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You got it right there, and you decided to sit down or not execute or not go for it. Oh, well, somebody will say I'm mean. Oh, somebody will say I'm a racist. Oh, they'll say I'm running up the score. You have it in your hand. Win.
Press the initiative.
And I can tell you my two greatest disappointments in the Alabama legislature, I had victory in my hand and let somebody talk me out of it because they promised we would come back and fix it the next year. Both of those things are still in effect today, and I had them. I had it. I had the snake choking it to death. And they said, no, let it live one more day, and we'll come back. We promise we'll all be with you. And I bought that crap.
Trying to be a nice guy.
I did, and that's part of the whole story that I'm trying to teach people is the bad guys will say to you, hey, look, let's be nice. Let's be sweet. Two wrongs don't make a right. We're going to come back and do this. Just trust us on this. Just let the speaker do whatever. Just trust us. Trust us. And you let it go, and you never get it back. I'm telling you, when you have it politically, when you have it, seize the day.
That's right out of the art of war.
Never refuse to
Press
take the
the
kill
initiative.
shot. Never refuse to kill to do the kill shot because you won't have a.
You know what those two
second
things
chance.
were? I know you know one of them.
I know, yeah.
One of them's Common Core. The other one's pre-K. God, just thinking about that drives me absolutely crazy. But yeah, it was pre-K.
The 3-year pre-K or the 4-year?
The 4K.
The 4-year.
The state sponsored daycare.
Yeah.
And it was just starting, and it was all, oh, it's gonna be so awesome, with no data to back that up whatsoever.
Well, now the data shows it didn't work.
Well, the data showed then it didn't work, but they didn't want to believe it.
Right.
I mean, we had it. Michael Ciamara was the guy. He's like, here it is. Here's the data from the other states. Here is the truth. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say. Here is the truth.
Well, when you have federal dollars involved, there's never been a federal dollar that the Alabama legislature didn't love.
No, because they're prostitutes.
Right.
Cheap ones at that. That's the
know.
bad part. I mean, if you're going to be one, be a high dollar one.
It costs more to implement those programs than the federal government gives us.
Well, it's almost like you're backing up.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was two of them that I had. That doesn't count the ones where they just said, hey, if you'll stand down on this, we'll do the ones you want to do later. Blew those up as well. So we got some callers, and Sky said we had a minute. I don't know if we can take any of these calls. Sky, can we get any of these in before the break?
Just 30 seconds until the top of the hour.
So nobody wants to start. We got Sam from Pat County is going to have a YouTube update. We got Simpler Days on the other side. Lots of good stuff to do.
Well,
My goodness.
You know, since the state of Alabama put in the flock cameras.
We're going to do those too.
Yeah, flock safety, and now we have drones.
We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. We're having the show between the show. We're hoping the microphones are off. You know, the other day they weren't, but I checked them this morning. Now, that does not mean they're going to come again. We're going to have to start, like, leaving the studio.
Did you find all the secret microphones that were being activated?
Oh, my gosh, only 2 of them. I don't know the ones that the CIA uses or that the legislature is using, but...
Well, you'll never find those anyway.
Those are, yeah, they don't even have to do it. They're just listening through the phone.
Right.
Yeah. They don't have to bug any of us.
We're pre-bugged.
Yes.
We're pre-bugged. We carry it with us. You know how stupid we are? People are like, I never want there to be a tracker on me. I would never have a tracker and put under the skin. I'm just going to carry it with me 24 hours a day.
And that's what it is.
My wife was driving the other day out of town, she was talking to my oldest son who just had gotten back from Japan.
Oh, I want to go to Japan.
He loves Japan. He's been there twice and loves it.
Oof.
And she said within 5 minutes, Sky, of hanging up the phone with my son, who had told her about a couple of different places that he really liked, she started getting ads.
Yeah.
For she said, like, immediately, like, hang up the phone. Social media starts giving ads. I'm like, yeah, it's gone from about an hour down to about 15 minutes, and now they're just about to the point of just giving you the ad as the person utters it.
That's right.
From their mouth. We are
coincidence.
so tracked and monitored. It's unbelievable. And if they would ever tell you how much they know, we would all be wigged out.
No,
Like,
I already
blow your
know.
mind.
Well, you do, but people don't realize that.
I don't want to know.
And there's limits on like the social media, like Facebook and all that. They could find out, all right, look, give me all the people who listen to talk radio, who are over 6'4", who have gray hair, who one eye's bigger than the other one, who has 3 kids, and you could just keep just making it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then they could say, these are the 15 people that match your 20 points in the state of Alabama. And you could say, well, then I want my ad to go to them. Now, they're going to pretend they can't do that. But my understanding is, and Ann is nodding to me, and you can see it, you can watch that on YouTube. You can watch her nod. They absolutely have it down way more than anybody knows. Probably down to facial features. Probably down to their nostrils are this size because all the facial recognition that we all sign up for. And then if you do it, cross it over with the health data that they can all sell and pretend like, you and I have to fill out that stupid thing when we go to the doctor, you put your name down, they pull off the little sticker and pretend like you can't know. I'm like, I know that Sky. I see Sky. I know Sky's at the doctor. I don't know why Sky's at the doctor. I'm probably going to ask him just like he's going to ask me. But, oh, no, they got all this. Oh, it's super secure.
Have you read the paragraph that says you can give it to a third party?
That's what I'm saying. The third party could get it, but I can't. I'm just like, stop. Why do y'all pretend like you're so secure, but you're letting everybody else have all my data?
Yeah. When we went to electronic medical records, you lost your privacy.
Yes. At least in the old days, they had to take it out, Xerox it, and do something with it.
How long has it been since I've been with Med Management? 10, 15 years? It was a nightmare for doctors to switch over, but they were required to by the federal government.
Yeah, of course.
Obamacare.
Yeah, the guy that probably wasn't supposed to be president.
Yeah.
Let's go to, what's the order on this, Guy?
Sam, Pike County.
Sam from Pike County. Welcome to the program. Happy Monday to you, Sam.
It is a happy Monday.
It is.
A very happy Monday. Yeah, it is. Scott, over the weekend, I found the Scott Beason Media, Scott Beason Show, Scott Beason whatever on YouTube. Yeah, well, it did change, and it did change over the weekend. And I liked and subscribed.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. And, because I forget, Scott, you got a good show. I've been listening for several years. But I forget just how many years you have been active in politics and in media, and it's right there. There's it's a fine channel.
Thank you. Well, we're trying. We're getting better every day. We made an upgrade today, and we'll continue to make upgrades. And soon, we're well on our way to 1 million subscribers.
Absolutely. Well, it's like your fans page. People like you, Scott. You got a lot of fans out here. I'm looking at you on the YouTube. Yeah. It looks great, and you got Miss Ann without an S. Miss
Yeah,
Eubank.
she's going to wave to you, but it's going to take about 50 seconds to get there.
That's okay, but you got her stuck in the dark, man. She's sitting in the dark. Scott, turn the light on for her.
I told him not to put the camera in my face because it shows all my wrinkles. It's no problem.
And you have done, sister, you got nothing to worry about. Y'all are good looking. Y'all good looking folks on the TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I always assume Scott was broadcasting his show from his bus. I don't know why. I pictured him sitting up on top. Yeah, I pictured him parked up there on top of Iron Mountain. I am Beason. I am talking down to Birmingham. I don't know.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, that is. We could probably have better signal.
The apocalypse stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted to say the YouTube, no problem. Signal is great. And
well, good. Tell all your friends and everybody you know about it, and get them to subscribe, and we'll grow it a little bit at a time.
Sam, that's that character in the disaster film 2012 that was broadcasting from his bus on top of a mountain.
Was he?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I really love that movie.
The 2012 movie?
Yeah, I love it.
Is that where all the natural disasters are happening?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Sam, I appreciate you, buddy.
I'm gonna get off. Thank y'all.
You got it,
Thanks,
man.
Sam.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let's go to Simpler Days. Simpler Days, welcome to the program.
Good morning, folks. How are y'all?
We're doing well, buddy. How about you?
We good.
Oh, doing good too. You too, Ann. Hey, are y'all familiar with the police chief of New Orleans?
No.
The lady, the woman.
That's yeah, Mother Hubbard.
Yeah.
She looks like somebody's grandmother. She looks like maybe Kay Ivy's first cousin. But anyway.
Well, wait. She's got more melanin than Kay Ivy.
No, she's pretty pasty.
Is she?
Ann Kirkpatrick.
There you go. She's formerly from Oakland, California, if that tells you what you need to know. But anyway, that's when they were trying to out liberal each other during right after the George Floyd thing and everything. But
Right.
Anyway, a local television station has been doing an investigation down there because she has gone to the city council and saying we need more money for raises because these other cities are stealing our police officers because of our pay. So they did this investigation and called a press conference and had her there with her number 2 person and said, look, we discovered that you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars overtime being paid to officers that aren't even working. And they gave one example of a sergeant who had billed the city for overtime for 363 days out of the year and was still at home on a large percentage of those days. And so when they presented it to her and said, here, why do you need more money when your officers are wasting money like this and there's no accountability? And instead of her saying, well, we appreciate you bringing it to our attention, we're going to get this corrected, she becomes very defensive and says, well, you're just looking for a gotcha moment. And then they said, well, okay, if you want to play that card, here's where you issued a letter of reprimand to this same sergeant 2 years ago for doing the same thing, and you didn't take any action. And see, that's what these blue cities do. And that's why they keep having to raise the taxes, because there's no accountability for the taxpayers.
Yeah, good point. And don't forget to note that the person was not working. There's a whole bunch of blue city employees who don't work. Therefore, you got to hire someone else to do the work the last person's not doing. And then that person realizes that they don't have to work. And then you got to hire somebody else to do the work that those 2 people were supposed to do. And you end up with this huge bloated payroll and nothing's getting done. Hey, we got to take a break.
Exactly.
Simpler Days, I'll carry you over, man. If you want to stay over, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. We appreciate you listening. Thank you for telling people about the program. Don't forget, you can find us over at YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search for Scott Beason. You can do Scott Beason Show, and eventually it will come up enough where you can see a little picture of me. Click on there and then go to live, and you can listen and see what we're doing right now. One of these days, one day, you might be able to see Sky as well. Maybe. Wow. Seems like a lot of technology, but Sky has a face for radio.
That's what they tell me.
We're going to keep working. He's got a good radio voice. But let's go back out to Simpler Days. Simpler Days, welcome to the program. I hope you're well.
Hey, Scott, I'm finished. I appreciate you. I just wanted to get that in about the Blue Cities.
No, I appreciate that, man. And look, hopefully we're making progress. This U.S. Supreme Court ruling, Simpler Days, about not having to create these districts that purposefully elect Democrats, and maybe the state of Alabama will grow enough cojones to start dealing with some of the problems we have in our blue dot cities here in the state of Alabama. I mean, no one deserves to live in a place that is chaos, that is dangerous. The majority of those people didn't ask for those places. And then people will say, well, they voted for that mess. I don't believe they actually vote for the disaster that is the blue dot cities. Now, many times they will vote for who their political machine chooses, and they will vote for the person who sometimes pretends that they care about them and pretends that they will do what's best for them. But maybe we're making progress. Hopefully we are. Simpler Days, I appreciate it, buddy, and I appreciate you keeping up with these things and letting us know about them.
Have a good day.
Thanks, buddy.
You too.
Let's go out to Papa B. Papa B, welcome to the program.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Well, Rudy Giuliani was in the news again with his health declining. And, I mean, it's just so sad and so horrible how he's been treated. This is an American hero.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he has been driven down into the dirt, just physically worn out, monetarily worn out by, the machine, the political machine of the left. It's not funny, never was, but it's so bad, now that I just, it doesn't. I'm not surprised that people don't want to get involved. People don't want to try to, really say what's on their mind.
Well, one of the things that Giuliani faced and some other people face, and it explains some of the things I was talking about at the start of the show, Papa B, is that he's an attorney. And attorneys mean they have to be licensed by the bar. And when I was complaining earlier about that lawyers, attorneys general, et cetera, always do what the court says. And they do what the judge says. And part of that is because that system is set up for a small group of people at the top to decide whether you're a renegade or not. Now, you could be a drunk, and you could be an abuser, and you could you could be a criminal, basically, and then they'll try to figure out every way possible for you to get help and remediation, and you're fine. But you go against the political dogma of the day, it's time for you to go. And poor old Giuliani's one of the casualties of that bias.
It's not. It's more than just a shame. It's a crime.
It absolutely is a crime. And those people are going to answer to an almighty God who is not going to care whether or not they sat on the Supreme Executive Committee of the bar. He's not going to care one bit. And so they need to get their lives straight.
I hope that they get a comeuppance before then.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see it ahead of time, but I'm not betting on it.
I'm not going to bet on it either. But it wasn't just the judicial system. I mean, that it's like just put a hard stop to any kind of questioning about the 2020 election.
Yes.
I believe what happened in a lot of instances is people like Zuckerberg, the Apple guy, many of the others, they flooded the zone hiring and paying law firms so that it just kind of bought up all of the legal remedies that, ordinarily might, be able to be had. It was a multi-tiered, a multi-layered cake approach to putting down any kind of questioning of this ridiculous 2020 election. Now that we're finding out, indeed it was stolen, as if nobody is, everybody's just like, oh, it was?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Papa B, I know you are an observer of judicial political wranglings. One of the things that let me know, okay, yes, this election must have been stolen, was the fact that the judicial branch was prepared ahead of time in all of these states. They had the same responses. They had the same take. They were fully prepared for people to come out and say, "Hey, there's something wrong here." And the fact that they were everywhere, omnipresent, told me that it was a plan, because otherwise one of these cases would have kind of gotten started because no one would have known better. But everybody knew better, and it was squashed systematically everywhere simultaneously, and they had to have had foreknowledge for that to have occurred that way.
Even the Supreme Court said the states didn't have standing.
I know, which is unbelievable.
I mean,
that's one of their only listed jobs in the Constitution, is to deal with arguments between states, and they just blew it off.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Papa B, I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll talk to you.
Good deal, man. Good call. I mean, Papa B's right. Give him credit. So let's talk about these cameras. I was talking to my wife over the weekend. I think one of the old newspapers had an article, and it was trying to tell people, hey, these drones are coming to the highway near you. Now, we've talked about it on the show, and Lori was like, well, because my wife is nice. She is a nice person, okay?
I know.
And she said, and she responded the way nice people do. She's like, well, those construction areas are dangerous. And I said, yes, baby, I know. But we drive a lot, don't we? And she said, yes. And I said, and when we drive a lot, we go through a lot of places where they're doing construction, right? And she said, yes. And I said, what's the percentage of time that somebody's actually working in one of these places where we're going 45 miles an hour by all the orange signs? And she says, not very often. I said, yeah. And now you're going to get mailed a ticket because a drone,
or a flock camera.
Yeah, which is owned by the people that make the technology.
Right.
Is going to send you a ticket, just like going through a toll booth, that says you're speeding in a construction zone, because they've got the signs posted, which is probably the legal definition. And it just infuriates me, because I'm already mad that I'm supposed to be going like 45. And you're like, I mean, y'all know, Sky, how many construction zones have you been through that there's no one at for weeks and months?
And you also bottleneck traffic down to that point as well, so it's kind of inherently dangerous to begin with. So.
And then they're just going to send you, and if you drive through that 10 times in a month, and the state finally gets around to sending you your drone ticket, are you going to show up on a Saturday morning one day and get your mail, and there's 10 envelopes in there?
You may collect the whole set
for $250 a piece.
I think
because at least when the policeman pulls you over, you're like, crud, and you got one.
Yeah,
it's instant.
I think they took out the 250 and put in language appropriate blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. You know what that means? You want me to translate that for you? It's 275 now.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't fix it to go down, I promise you. What's a regular speeding ticket out there, y'all?
I
mean, the last time I got one a long time ago was like $180, so it's got to be more than that.
More than that. Unfortunately, I don't know either. So
Okay, so here's
keep it
the
that way.
problem.
Do we got to take another break? We got to take
We are
another break,
late.
and there's not enough time in the day. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. We appreciate you listening to the show and taking time to visit with us. Ray Bowles is on the line. He's got a question for us. Ray, good morning to you. Happy Monday. I hope you're doing well.
Doing great. Just driving down the road, listening to you guys, and thinking about these drones because I do have a heavy foot. I got to admit.
Hey, I'm with you, brother. Hey, look, let me ask you a question, Ray. Do you use Waze or do you use
all the time? Waze everywhere I go.
Have you ever thought about like who are they reporting how fast you're driving to? Because it's got the little speedometer thing in that bottom left-hand corner.
I have Alpha, so I'm not too worried.
Fair enough, Ray. Fair enough. What's up?
Hey, but here's my question on these drones because I drive a pickup truck. Wouldn't it just be easy to leave my tailgate down and not worry about it?
Oh, you're the man. It's a great idea, Ray.
Am I not thinking right?
Well, Ann's got the rest of the story. Hold on, here she comes.
Okay. The rest of the story.
That work?
The rest of the story is you're driving a red pickup truck with a dog in the back. Your wife is sitting in front, which has been recognized by the AI camera on that drone with her biometrics. You have been recognized. If you have any kind of electronics, if your pickup truck is newer, now if you're older, that's a different story. It reads your computer. It knows where you live. It knows what's in your backyard, knows where you come and go. So you can cover up your tag, but if you have any computer in your truck, they know.
That's what they're saying now, Ray, is that all the technology in the vehicles now is beginning to give you away, even if your tag is covered up.
Right.
Now, I don't know how far this new version is going to be. The first version may just be tags, but I promise you right after it, they'll say, well, you know, there's a bunch of guys riding with their tailgates down. We need to open up this next capability, and it'll just get worse and worse. But I like that idea. I've always thought, can I just put a bike carrier on the back of the van and put a bike and put a cover over it, and they'll never see my tag?
That's another thought. But now, what about Ford making it where you can't crank your car up if you're in a panic situation?
Oh, I know. Have you seen the one where the older lady and the son are doing the little skit, and there's a tornado coming, and the car's like, you have an elevated heart rate, and you seem to be stressed. You know, it won't let them crank up the car to get away.
So here's my question. How many people are going to buy Fords with this kind of nonsense? But Ford may just be the first one. How can they do that? How can the government allow that? Why have we not just been raising Cain that the government can control our cars because of our behavior? Do you understand what that means?
Oh, yeah, I know what that means. It's a slippery slope that's going straight to the end time.
You're right, Ray. You're absolutely right. But look, the federal government just refused. They're allowing or going to continue to mandate that they can turn your car off remotely, and we didn't pitch a fit about that. Because, you know, they're catching so many drug dealers and drug runners and terrorists that they can turn these new cars off.
It's all to protect the children. Isn't that the motto?
Exactly right. Yeah.
You want something done, we're doing it to protect your children.
That's right.
And let us educate them.
Yep.
Heaven help us.
We're in such trouble.
Yeah. It's a different world. I reckon I'm gonna have to give my new GMC in and buy me an old one.
I'm keeping my 95.
Hang on to it.
I'm a little bit. My 95's a little before the black box. It doesn't have one of those either, so I'm in good shape. It needs a muffler and a master cylinder, and the steering's a little wobbly, but it's getting there.
Hey, one other rabbit hole, real quick, on redrawing these lines.
Yes, sir.
And getting a whole new set of people in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing that scares me is when we vote these new guys in, they don't understand how much it costs to live. So they're looking at making $185,000 a year plus another $31,000 housing. So I'm making $210,000. That's not enough to live in D.C. and down here too.
No, I don't. Do they make 210? Last time I was going to do it was 175 total. And then you had to pay $20,000 in Obamacare for your family health insurance.
Right. So how in the devil are you going to live in D.C. and in Montgomery or wherever you live in Alabama?
You live in your office.
But that's where these guys end up getting bought.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Because they don't have enough money to live.
That's exactly right.
And next thing you know, that you got all these people throwing cash at you. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do when your wife's screaming at you?
Absolutely.
Over money.
When you need one of those new cars that has all the computer stuff in it and all the cameras.
When somebody's running for office, especially federal, and I get to talk to them, I want to know, what is your debt ratio? How much are you? I want to know if you're wealthy or not. Because unless you're wealthy, you can't live up there, and you're going to be bought.
Yeah, and here's the inherent problem with it, though. And if you're wealthy already, you have a disconnect from the regular guy. Sometimes, I'm not saying all. I get the whole idea of, the person who's been blessed enough to go and make really good decisions. But you end up with those guys who are real quick to run out and say, hey, look, I'll give up my salary because, we haven't passed the budget yet. Well, that's easy for him to say. He's worth $112 million. But congressman that, lives in my neighborhood, he's done. They're like, why don't you give up your salary? He's like, because I got to pay a mortgage.
You got mortgage. You got kids. You got school to pay for, people to feed.
That's right. You're so right.
I'm personally on the thing that if you work in Congress, you should make at least $350.
It's going to cost a lot.
Enough.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to worry about getting paid off.
Yeah, and then if you get paid off, you go to jail.
At least we're paying them.
Yep.
Yeah, at least we're paying them instead of somebody we don't know.
I tried to make that argument in the Alabama legislature, and they lit my butt on fire for it.
Yeah. I think
I know.
I think that's why you lost.
That congressional race, probably.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, Ray, I appreciate you, buddy.
Yep.
Thanks,
guys.
man.
Y'all have a great day.
Hey, you
Bye.
too, buddy.
You too.
Good call. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to, well, it ought not be. I get the ought not be. I get it. And it's easy to say, well, yeah, you just need to go down there and, you leave the farm and go down there and serve for 30 days and go back. I get that too.
Well, that's not what you do.
Back when everybody was agrarian and you went in the wintertime and you made it back home for planting, great. But
how many
not how it is.
meetings did you go to a week?
Way
outside
more
of
than you should.
Yeah, outside of the normal session. I
And-
know
and
we
to-
used to call you all the time, once a month to come. There's no telling how many times you had to go somewhere
Right.
you weren't getting paid for.
No, people don't get it. That's why I was never mad at people. I mean, I was bothered, frustrated, but people don't understand. They don't think about
No.
it. But yeah, that took a beating. That and Aborigines was a beating on in that congressional race.
Yeah.
Because when you got down the south side of town where Karen and Kyle live,
Yeah.
oh, for the love of Pete, they were so virtuous.
Yeah.
And it was rough. Now they'll cuss me out for not being as virtuous as they are, and I'm like, okay, I got you. I see you.
Yeah. Well,
God bless
whatever.
you. Have a great day.
I know. I know you had to go to every Republican meeting in your district, every breakfast, I mean, it was nonstop.
It's a lot. If you keep up, it's a lot. We got to take another break. We'll be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. It's not the easiest to find because we got to build up our viewership, but check out Scott Beason, Beason, or The Scott Beason Show, or Scott Beason Show. And you'll get there. Our subscribers are going up, and you can check out the stream. And I think we're better at it than we were the other day. And so we're making progress. Let's go out to the phones. Wong Jong, welcome to the program.
It's very busy at Hutahaki. All legislators are over here planning for what's going to happen at 4 o'clock. They're going to be there 2 weeks and want to get lots of money. So they have very big initiative. They at back room of prison casino.
The back room in the prison casino.
Upset, but they all planning for Eubank to come be Grand Marshal at 4th of July parade.
Yeah,
and
right.
they interrupted it. And
that'll
anyway,
never happen.
Anyway, I'm going out of town that week. Anyway, you want the acronym for the program that the legislatures are doing to make money for the next 2 weeks, get hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I do, Wong Jong. What is it?
It is. Okay, write it down. Drawn utilized funding for unintended special session. It's the Doofus Initiative. Y'all have a wonderful day. Happy special session.
Thank you, Wong Jong. The Doofus Initiative. I'm still surprised that it made it through the legislature the way that it did. That they passed
money, revenue. They fought over. Well, we need the revenue. It's not about safety.
And that's what people need to understand, that these things are not about safety. It's about they think they can make revenue.
Right. Not only revenue from catching those people who are speeding, but revenue from selling the data.
Of course, why do they need the data the drone's picking up? Because we're giving them all the data with our own phones.
Data is data. Why do you think they're spending so much money building
many data centers?
Because every single person, we've got the Palantir Skynet.
Mm-hmm.
We have the digital everything around us.
Right.
So every single person's movement, functions, every single thing you do will be logged into a data center.
Mm-hmm.
And once AI has reached quantum, which means, you said it the other day, every day it's 10,000 times smarter than it was the day before, exponentially, because of all the data that it is collecting. So when it comes down to digital ID, mark of the beast, all of the stuff that we know is going to happen.
Right, the buy and sell and
everything.
Being able to turn you off, basically.
Yeah. So
they'll be able to do that. Why would we as human beings want someone to have the power to do that to us?
We don't want it. They are saying that it's for convenience.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want. I saw a commercial the other day with a drone, one of those crazy things that Elon has, and the guy's saying, "I don't want that. I don't want to be in the system," and they threw him over the fence. This drone robot threw the guy over the fence because he didn't want to be in the system. It's coming.
Yeah.
And this is part of
So social credit monitoring,
everything,
the whole 9 yards.
Everything.
So that you're just a I don't know. I mean,
you're going to be transhuman unless if you take everything they're going to offer you for convenience, you will no longer be human. Just like Bill Gates said the other day, we have nanoparticles ready for polio shots. Any vaccine will have it. It's in your food. We're putting it in meat. It's in Coca-Cola. He's still talking about it. They are not hiding it.
They're not even asking if you want
No.
it. You're just going to get it because
You're going to get it. Anything that you purchase with that wax stuff on it that he now has on all the vegetables and
that stuff has it in there.
yes. If
Well,
you're
that's
eating
depressing.
anything that you haven't washed that wax off of with baking
A
soda,
peel, isn't it called
yes,
a peel?
a peel. What with baking soda and vinegar, you are eating nanoparticles.
Well, that's fine.
And let's end.
We
on
got to
a
take a break.
happy
The
note.
show's almost over. Y'all be good. Be safe. See y'all.